Hey, back for another video tutorial on Illustrator, similar to one we've done before. But we're going to do a Pokeball today with a couple different tools as fast as we can. So we're going to start with the ellipse tool, and holding shift, I'm going to drag out a circle. That's two of them. I actually do need another circle inside of it for that little part in the middle, and one more inside of that. All right, I'm going to take both of these with my black arrow, these inner ones. And notice I'm trying to drag out my inner ones and it won't let me because it's filled with white. So I'm going to select all three, make them filled with none, and change their stroke over here to something a little wider. Let's go with 3. All right, I like the look of that. Now just these two here without a fill in the middle, I should be able to select those two. It's still not letting me. Anyway, I'm going to use shift to select both of them and go up here to align them horizontal center and vertical center, so they look like they're nice and put together there. And I need a couple more lines here. I could paintbrush them across, but I'm going to use the pen tool, and I'm going to go all the way across from the outside and just get a nice curve simulating the roundness of the ball. And I'm going to use my black arrow move tool again, and the Alt key, holding down Alt, to get this double arrow, copy it down. I'm going to get that original one and move it up just with my arrow keys on my keyboard. Get them about right the same spot there. Okay, great. So we've got essentially the Pokeball, but we've got some overlapping lines here. Overlapping lines are going to be very important for this next step so that we know that all of our shapes in here wind up being closed and can be filled with a color. Next, I select everything, and I'm going to go to Object and Expand. I'm going to expand the fill and the stroke, even though there is no fill. Now all of my strokes have become fills, and you can see that when I zoom in, they are overlapping vector fills. They don't have that one vector line of a stroke that runs down the center, overlapping filled shapes. What I got to do now is down here, I'll pull it out, is my Pathfinder. All right, with everything still selected, I'm going to choose Pathfinder and Divide. That separates all of my shapes from one another so that I can go in with my white direct select tool and select and delete all of the parts that I don't want. It's good to be zoomed in on this so you can really see what you're doing. This one here, that should be everything. Okay, now I got to fill it in with some color. Keep my Pathfinder up here. I'm going to take just an ellipse. I'm going to cover it up, give it an odd color like pink, something I'm not going to use later. I mean, I could use, I'll make it the red for the Pokeball, doesn't matter. But I'm covering it up, and then I'm going to send this with a right click, arrange, send it to the back. All right, so now it's behind everything. I'm going to do that Pathfinder and Divide one more time. Oh, but before I do that, I see now that I've got all these little clear paths. I don't want to divide up with all my clear paths and everything. So I'm going to go in with my white direct selection tool, just mouse around, sneak around here until I get one of those. Where is it? There it is. So that's the edge, of a path that has no fill and no stroke. I want to get rid of all of those paths. I'm going to select same, fill and stroke. It looks like I've selected everything, but I've only selected those empty fill stroke paths, right? Blah, blah, blah. They're gone. So now when I select everything, I'm only getting the parts that I want. Again, still before I do this, I want to join these back together. So from my Pathfinder, I'm going to click on Unite under Shape Modes. I got rid of the little bits of paths, so I'm not dividing up things that don't need to be divided up. Okay, finally, I can do one more divide. That separates all of these shapes together. I can click off with my white arrow to deselect. I can select this outside shape, get rid of it. Is it the top or the bottom of the thing that's red? I think the top is red, bottom is white. So I'll select this one, go to my colors, make it white. This should be black, I believe. Oh, I moved it. Control Z. And these guys in here, give them a light gray, just to set them apart from the white. Now, last but certainly not least, we can use our knife tool in conjunction with our white direct selection arrow. Select any one of these shapes and grab your knife, and you can carefully cut into this shape like so and divide it from its main shape. We're going to give this a shadow. So again, I'm clicking off to deselect after I do that, and then just selecting that one shape that I know I just made. I'm going up here to my color guide. If I click on my shape here, that's my base color, it'll give me some options for making this shape. Come on, do it. Why are you not doing that? It should be working. This should be changing the color of my shape. I don't know why it's not working. Anyway, the other way is to just make it darker. That got it. Okay, same thing on my bottom one. Grab your knife. It needs to be selected ahead of time. I'm going to approximate going down here, and you have to cut all the way through your shape from one side to the next to really divide it, or you won't be able to get that second shape. And I should be able to shoot. I don't know why that's not working. This is a thing that should work. So instead, I'm just going to grab this, double click that, and just make it a little darker. Okay, so I've got a shadow there. I can do the same thing for a highlight. Why is it moving? Take my knife, and I could either do an edge highlight, or if you want a spot highlight, something like that. Just make sure you cross over your lines. That was a bad one. Make sure you cross over, otherwise this shape won't be separate. I don't know if I did cross over there. Nope, I didn't. One more time. There we go. We're crossed. Select that shape. Go a little lighter this time. Okay, so I got highlight, shadow, shadow. These things could all be changed individually to make them different colors. Why this isn't working, I don't know. But it should work. That should change the color. Weird, it's not working. But that's it. All right, enjoy.